Welcome to the assembly stream. We'll do some table tennis racket assembly, weigh some stuff, put together my racket, put together a different racket. Probably watch some MLTT while it's going on, so just enjoy. It's not gonna be super exciting, but I'll get some stuff done. Let me know if you have any questions about table tennis equipment in the comments. All right, got some new stuff, got some old stuff. We'll see how it goes. So, let's weigh a few things first. This is a Marlin soft carbon racket, Rakza 7 side tape. So this setup weighs 182.41 grams. It's pretty good, it's lighter than my racket. Not super light, but quite reasonable. So we're gonna disassemble this. Got the butterfly side tape. I think I put it on recently, so I'm gonna try and save it. It's pretty new. If you banged against the table a bunch, you could get some new stuff, but otherwise, reuse it. Rakza 7, great all-around rubber, recommended everywhere. You can see this is very heavily used Rakza 7 rubber. This is like, I mean, it's probably 5 years old, around that. It hasn't been used for 5 years because it's been in storage or on this racket, but still. I used this a long time ago. It's being retired, so let's retire the Rakza 7 in style. Max thickness Rakza 7, it's like 2.2, 2.3 millimeters. I don't know exactly. Yasaka has a few different maximum thicknesses for the rubbers. So yeah, Rakza 7 on the Marlin soft carbon blade. What's up, everyone who's watching? Let me know if you have any questions about table tennis racket stuff, what you like. First, we're starting with disassembly, then we'll get back to assembly. So yeah, Rakza 7. The grip is gone. It's old. It's worn out. You can see it has like that light green colored sponge. It's max thickness. Marlin soft carbon. They put it in the off minus category, meaning it's offensive, but on the lower side, closer to all plus, or at least equidistant to all plus as it is to off offensive. 7-ply 5 wood plus 2 carbon, but it's inner carbon. What's up, Couch Kitty? How are you doing? I'm doing well, thank you. We've been watching some MLTT earlier, Major League Table Tennis on their Table Tennis TV platform. I have to do some assembly before I practice tomorrow. Sure, I can teach you how to play. I'm thinking about doing more streams, even like where I can actually do more instructional stuff, but if you watch our streams, we're always doing training. And if you have any particular questions, I'm happy to talk to you about it. So yeah, thanks for your question, Couch Kitty, and I'll definitely help you play better. Tune into our streams and let me know what you're thinking about exactly in terms of where you need to improve. All right, so I'm getting these old rubbers off. They've served their purpose. Like I said, they've been around a long time, so these rubbers, it's time for them to hang it up. All right, there's no more grip. They're gone. Max thickness both sides. So, first blade, Marlin soft carbon. Like I said, this is a popular blade. I think it's like $60 these days. Sometimes a little cheaper, sometimes a little cheaper. It's got some glue residue, so sometimes I'm gonna have to go wash my hands after I get some of this old glue off. You'll have to forgive me for my absence, please. You can sub if you'd like to, or you can check out this stream and make your own decision in the future. I don't want to influence you one way or the other. I do some assembly stuff, but mostly just practice in my club. I'll get back to tournaments later in the year, coming back from a little break due to different aches and pains, but we're doing well. Getting some assembly done. I got new rubbers for my main blade, so I'm happy about that. We'll put those on in a bit. Not super exciting putting together rackets, but the table tennis stuff is, so feel free to subscribe if you want, or just check it out when you feel like it. All good. I appreciate your questions. So, let me get the glue residue off here. We'll weigh this blade on its own. So any guesses for the weight of this blade on its own? I'll have to think. Let me get a little bit of this glue off my hands. So Major League Table Tennis is on tonight on their table tennis TV platform. You can check it out. 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time is the next match. Atlanta Blazers versus Carolina Gold Rush. All right. Let's see. Let's see what this blade weighs on its own. I think 87 grams. Oh my gosh. Can you see it? 87.04. Okay, go enjoy your dinner. I just guessed that blade weight off 0.04 grams. We should go celebrate, everyone. That's pretty good. Look at that. That's the best I've ever done. I'm usually pretty bad at guessing blade weights, but that one, I need to take a moment. That was 0.04 grams off. You guys heard it. All right. I based it off the total weight, and I knew Rakza 7's lighter than my rubber, so I used that, but anyway, not that it matters. So this blade's pretty much clean. I mean, there's really no residue all through here. There's a little bit here, but not really. So this blade's ready to be assembled again. This blade was sealed in the beginning, I remember. I bought it a long time ago from Megaspin. You can always check the description for links to Megaspin to check out equipment prices, best table tennis prices in the US. So yeah, thanks Couch Kitty for saying hi. Hope to see you again in the future. Feel free to chat. These Rakza 7 rubbers are done, so they're out of the picture. All right, so this blade's ready. My coach gave me these 2 rubbers. I think someone ordered these rubbers and they never came and picked them up, and he gave them to me as a gift, so I appreciate it. Thanks, Coach. Butterfly Flextra. We sell a decent amount of these at Megaspin. I don't know much about it, but that's what I'm going to put on this blade. And then same with this. Juice, lesser known brand, also sold a few different places now. All around. So it's 2 control all-around rubbers on the Malin soft carbon blade. So this will be like a training setup, you know, when I'm practicing with people who aren't so advanced and need the ball to be a little slower. I think this is going to work. I don't know. Let me know what you think. If you played with Flexter before, if you've heard of it, if you've heard of the company Juice before. We'll get to the more interesting stuff like my racket and Dignics of the 9C in a bit. But I'm curious about this. So we got that. We got the Hugo Hal back there. I think you can see it. I'm going to seal that. I got a lot of stuff to do, so maybe I should stop talking and start doing. But actually, we have a little more weighing to do. So same idea. Here's my Harimoto Super ALC. Let's weigh it all together first. Why not? 187.31. So I like this one. This is I have 2 of these rackets. This one's lighter by like 5 grams, and I like this one better. I'm gonna see real quick. We'll weigh the other one because I'm curious too. I re-glued the rubbers. Deja vu. 191.69. So look at that. What is it, 4 grams different. Same rubbers, same blade, but the blade weight is different. Same gluing and stuff. All right. So we got Dignics 9C, 2.1 millimeter on both sides. I'm gonna reuse this on a different blade. I'm gonna put on the Hugo blade in a bit, but at first I have to seal that, so it's not going right there. But don't worry, I'm not getting rid of these. Even though they're pretty worn out, I've had them on there for like 3 months or more. And I think I'll mess with the glue also a little later. So here's my blade, Harimoto Tomokazu Interforce Super ALC. Let's see what this one weighs real quick. So this is a cut Dignics 9C with some glue in it, a little bit of wood in it. 49.09. We'll save that somewhere. Put it there for now. That was the black side. So I've been playing with Dignics 9C both sides again for 6 months now. I like it. I just bought the new version, or the new rubbers to replace them, no changes, so sticking with it through the end of the year. 48.66, so it's like 0.4 grams less than the black one. All right. It's got some glue on it. Let me get it off. Yeah, let me know where you're watching from. If you ever assemble your own rackets, what you play with, right? Do you play with butterfly stuff? Do you play with Stiga stuff, something else? I'm just getting the old residue off, but I don't want it to go over everything. That's what I'm doing over here. That's the old glue. It's on the blade. You have to kind of wipe your hand around, rub it off. Same with the other side. Let me know if you want to see that Hugo Hal blade. It's really, I haven't done anything with it. I bought it and just left in that case. I've been admiring it. just thinking about it, but I'm sticking with my racket, so I'm not changing anything. Well, like I said, go check out Major League Table Tennis. I think you can get like a 1 week free trial on their table tennis TV or something. Good matches. Kokinua played earlier. He was fun to watch. Pitchford's hurt, which stinks as a Crocs fan. Alright, so here's this one. I mean, I gotta get more glue off the edges, so bear with me. Like I said, this isn't like an exciting live stream. It's more just a procedural live stream. Things that have to be done, so here we are. A little bit of the wood. Alright, let's see. Moment of truth. Let's see what this blade weighs. This is actually interesting for me. Because I asked for the lightest blade when I bought this one, but I don't know what the actual weight is. 88 grams. All right, so I like this blade. It weighs 88 grams, 4 grams lighter than the other one. Good to know. It's lighter. Not so much, not so like crazy much lighter. Whatever. 88 grams. That's a good number though. So I'm gonna stick with that. 88.02, 88.03, something like that. That's good. All right, so I'm gonna put the new Dignics 09C on there in just a bit. Give me time. I'm gonna put 2 layers of glue on the Dignics 09C, 1 layer of glue on the blade on each side. Just kind of preparing things. We'll start. Oh, let's see what this blade weighs. So this is the Loki Kirin K1. I mean, cheap basic blade off AliExpress, 5-ply all wood, but it's a nice blade. I've sealed it already. 79.67 grams. So let's compare that. 88 grams for my blade versus 79.67 grams, right? So 8.33 grams more for my blade versus this one. This is a flared handle blade. You can see how it's most narrow in the middle and then it gets wider towards the base. Mine's anatomic. It's a little bit wider in the middle, but still flares out the handle. There's also straight handle blades, but I don't have it here to show you. I just kind of ramble on, so feel free to ask any questions about table tennis equipment so I know what you're interested in or what you know or what you want to know. Otherwise, just kind of going on and on. Anyway, we'll assemble that with some rubbers there in a bit. I'm testing something out there too. So we got the info we need. This one, 92 gram blade, slightly less maybe. Now 191.68. Okay. This one, 88.02. So 4 grams lighter blade, more or less, 3.5, 4 grams. Good to know. Hi Kelly, how's it going? Let me know if you have any questions or if you want to talk about what you use for table tennis, if you have a racket that you like or a player you like to watch, things like that. I can see the MLTT hat in the back, Major League Table Tennis. You can go watch that. All right, I think we've weighed enough stuff for now. We've hit our quota of weighing things. Let's do something. Enough preamble. So let's see, what should we do? We're saving these 09C for later. So say goodbye for now, but not forever. But you have to be careful where you stick them, right? I don't want to stick them somewhere and then they get ruined because I need those. Anyway. We're going to start with the most important one first, my racket and my Dignics 09C. We might even weigh these 09Cs for science purposes. But for now, the blade's ready. We'll start with the forehand side. So I got red 2.1, black 2.1. Dignics 09C from Butterfly. Like I said, let me know if you ever want to see anything particular. You say, oh, I want to see the glue, I want to see that or that. I'll show it to you. Otherwise, I'm just going to be here doing what I'm doing. Butterfly always gives you these. I say to save these. They're useful. And you'll see since Dignics 09C has some tackiness to the surface, it comes with a film on top. You wouldn't have that film on Dignics 05 or other ones. Here's the sponge. Right? Nothing. I mean, it's red. I don't know. What am I going to say? It's hard. Got the film here. I like Dignics 09C because it's easy to work with since it's got a harder sponge. It's a little more resilient. Tenergy, for example, has a soft sponge or softer. And so if the glue goes wrong, this or that, it's a little bit more finicky. might show the ripples or this other issues. So we get this, we get that. Like I said, I'm going to do 2 layers of glue on the rubber for now, because lately this Revolution 3 glue, which I like a lot, with 1 layer on the sponge and 1 layer on the blade, it hasn't been sticking as well as I like for some other rackets. I think it's because it's very humid this time of year in Florida. So I'm going to do 2 layers. Make sure you don't have stuff on your hands when you mess with this, because you don't want it to get in the sponge for no reason. I'm going to take off this plastic film because I don't like it keeps it so rigid, but save it because it's useful. Right. So I take it. It's got like a lot of static cling to it. Let's put it in here, and then I'll use it later. Do better than that. Something like that. All right, I save that for later because you can put that on the rubber as like a protector. So might as well make use of it. All right. So this is the black 2.1. You can see it's got good grip. Some people complain that recent Dignics on this don't have as much grip. I think it's like when it's new, it's a little bit just slick, but I can feel good grip. It's enough. For me, I like 09C. Yeah, I just like it. I don't want to bother with boosting rubbers. I boost the cheap Chinese stuff, but I don't want to have to deal with boosting my rubber all the time and the ups and downs of that. And the smell and chemical stuff. I don't trust it. So 09C is good. Let's see if this is clean enough. No. So I think I'm getting towards the bottom of this Revolution 3. We're going to use this for that, and then I'll use the Loki glue for the other stuff to test it out. So like I said, I'm going to put 2 layers of glue on the sponge and 1 layer of glue on the blade. And most table tennis glue goes on white, opaque, and then it dries clear. So you just wait for it to dry clear. You know, once you can't see it anymore, it's ready to be stuck on. You want to do your best to spread it evenly, but you don't have to go overboard. And don't worry if you get a little bit on the table like that, because it's easy to clean off. It dries up and then you just rub it off. And like I said, I like the Dignics 09C sponge because it's hard, so I don't really have to be that perfect about anything, really. But I'll try my best for you guys. It's kind of like you're an artist, right? Except there's no painting, so there's no pressure to actually look good. There you go. Beautiful. What's up, missing comp? This is Dignics 09C from Butterfly. So it's a hard hybrid rubber. Some would say the most kind of iconic hybrid rubber, perhaps, at least because Butterfly is the biggest brand. 09C is the most used by top pros. Other hybrid rubbers be like Stiga, T-Bar K3, Stigar Rising Dragon, a few things like that, right? But Dignics 09C is the one for me. It's got like a hard sponge, grippy top sheet, some would say tacky. A more lively sponge than a Hurricane. Not quite as tacky as like a tacky Hurricane, but the same idea. Yeah, Hurricane 3. Yeah, that's a good rubber. Most people boost those, so they have a little more bounce in the sponge, a little more like elasticity, but it's a good rubber. A lot of pros use it. This is similar. The difference would be that Hurricane 3 has a lower throw angle. You kind of like spin up more like this. And Dignics 09C, you kind of play more over the ball with a closed angle because it has a higher throw angle, but just depends on your technique and how you train. I think you can make do with either with similar techniques. You just have to adjust. But it's a good rubber. I mean, you can get Hurricane 3 Provincial Blue Sponge or something, for example, on AliExpress for like $40. It's not bad. You can also get it from US websites like Megaspin. Good deals there too. Just check what's best for you, or depending where you live, see what's available. But you don't need to be like national necessarily. You could, but I think Provincial's a good middle ground between commercial and that as far as the price to performance ratio. All right, so this is glued. I need to wait for that to dry, then I'll put one more. I'm gonna start doing a little bit for this one. How about that? We'll multitask a little bit. But yeah, good questions. Like I said, always ask questions. If you're curious, I'll do my best to answer. I don't know everything, but I can at least make up an answer that sounds reasonable, and we can debate whether it's right or not. Butterfly Flextra. Yeah, I like ping pong. I play quite a bit, like 4 days a week at least. What about you, Inui? How's it going? What do you think about ping pong? Zyro 3 officially released on October 1st in the US, and then most orders that people pre-order, they'll get shipped out there and arrive in a couple days. So October 3rd, people should start having it in the US. I'm not on the back order list at the moment. I'm a little bit jealous, but I like my Dignics and IC. I don't think I'll try Zyro 3 for a little while, but I know some people have it on back order, so maybe they'll let me try it if they're nice about it. Look at this wrapping. It's pretty nice. Butterfly reflective. Can you see it? Yeah. So it's like reflective in the packaging. They keep that. You play volleyball? All right. Volleyball's a good sport. Very athletic. They play volleyball in our gym where we play. It's very rough sometimes. I always worry they're gonna like spike it. And each other's faces. I give them respect for that because, frankly, I'm not trying to have a volleyball spike to my face. But sometimes they do come across over to our tables and we have to dodge them. Anyway, here's Butterfly. This paper, interestingly enough, look, it's got a cutout in it. And I noticed this Flextra has like crazy grip. Wow. What in the world? So, Flextra Extra Flexible. I didn't pronounce that very well. Will I make it? I'm not sure. Oh yeah, I'm going to put together a racket. I know. Right, I take forever. This has to dry clear. I have to put one more layer here than there, and then we'll start putting stuff on and use the roller. Hurricane's good for you if you're willing to train. I mean, it's demanding, right? You have to train to be strong. You don't necessarily need Hurricane, but a hard or a medium hard rubber is good to train with good grip. If you're going to be like a physical player, a lot of forehands, then Hurricane's very good. But if you don't have the coaching or things, then maybe just something in the middle is a little better, like all around like Rosanna or Gold Arc 8 or things like that. I'm really shocked how sticky this Flextra is. I never thought about it like that. I thought it was like an old school rubber. And I'm like feeling it. It's like sticky. Whoa. Like weird. Maybe it's old. I don't know. It's sticky though. It's good. So I'll put that on the forehand. Not that it really matters. Then I'll put this other one on the backhand. So let's see. Yeah, Flextra. It was a gift. And I'm happy to try it out, actually. I know people still buy it. I don't know much about it. But it's like, I can feel it on my fingers when I touch it. I don't know. It's weird feeling. Let's see. Soft sponge. All right, 1.9 millimeter sponge. I don't know. Do you have any experience with Flextra? Inui, tell me about it. I don't know so much about it, but I'm trying it out. Might as well. Usually a softer sponge absorbs the glue pretty good, so be generous. I think MLTT's starting soon. I should turn my computer on. It's next to me, so I'll do that in a second. Let me know if you're watching Major League Table Tennis on their new service, tabletennis.tv, so check it out. It's interesting. It's cool that they're innovating. More table tennis content's always good. It's hard when the sponge is this color to see where your glue is. I don't like that. I think that's kind of like a reason not to have a cream colored sponge if you're a manufacturer. So any rubber manufacturers listening, I think, come on, give it up now. We don't need to go through this. Like I said, I like Revolution 3 because it doesn't dry that quickly. So I can sit here and put the glue everywhere. Make sure it gets everywhere. Things like that. Yeah. I mean, it's cheap. I forget how much it costs, but it's definitely not expensive. And I'm quite impressed with how grippy it is. But I don't know. I'm guessing it doesn't have like a crazy amount of bounce. It's probably pretty slow, like a dampened effect. But like I said, I'm trying to build a racket here with the Model Soft Carbon, very much based on control, just for training beginners, basically. Beginners who you practically have to try and slow the ball down every single time you hit the ball with them and put it in the same spot. So Flextra in this Danny V All Plus. I don't know anything about that one. Let me know if you do. 2 minutes. Okay, my internal clock was close. So this is getting drier. Once it gets dry again all the way, I'm going to put a layer there, a layer there. We're never going to know when this is dry because it's clear. So give me a second to do whatever. We're going to put a layer of sealant on the Hugo Hal blade. You want to see it? Let's see it. You guys ready to see it? Ta-da! This is the Hugo Hal blade, the reproduction run from Xiaomi. So it's an outer fiber blade, but it's not carbon, right? Don't call it a carbon. Anyway, hyperexilium, microscale vibration control hyperexilium. The blade weighs 85.8 grams. It's truly a work of art. It's a blade that Hugo Calderano, the World Cup winner, played with. We're gonna seal it because I don't think it's sealed. And I might seal the handle too. I bought some stuff to try, but I'm not convinced 100%. I'm not gonna ruin this blade just for the fun of trying to seal the handle. But we are gonna seal the blade a little later, at some point. No promises, right? It might just stay in the case and go home again. But yeah, that's the Hugo Hal blade. My pride and joy. So here we got the matchup for Major League Table Tennis. Yuya Oshima versus Enzo Angles. Min Hyun Ji versus Chen Sung, Kayoma Yu. Man. Is that who's who? Jeet Chandra versus Mohamed Shoman. Kayama Yu versus Wei Wong, so that'll be fun. I've been watching the Shoman showdowns with Kazaku in Atlanta in their tournaments, and it's been pretty cool. They both play really well. Trying to get live on this thing again. I press back. All right. Major League Table Tennis on their new platform, Table Tennis TV. You can see this is getting pretty clear. I'm not sure I'm going to put 2 layers on this one, huh? No. So I put 1 layer on this, and I'm going to put 1 layer on this, and then I'll assemble that. I'm not going to wait. Oh, that's a lot. Oh, problem is this cap is all gunked up, so that's why I keep taking it off, and it's making my glue application a little bit messy. But it's all right. We'll manage. The key is that I do my racket well. Everything else is kind of like whatever. Don't tell the other rackets. And let's not let the pressure get to us and I make a mistake on my racket. That'd be bad. But anything can happen on a live assembly stream. It could all go wrong. I could mess up everyone. All right, so when those dry clear, I'll put those together. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that rubber, turn it over, I'll put it here, I get it started on the line, get it down just a bit, and then I roll it down. I try not to stretch it out too much, but I try to be firm enough so that it doesn't have air bubbles. That'll be where we start, and we'll move on from there. So yeah, let me know if you have any questions about table tennis equipment, about anything really. This is almost dry, almost ready for the second layer. Like I said, I mean, these rubbers, ideally, I'm going to keep these on for at least 3 months, maybe more. So 2 layers is fine. Gives it a little extra weight, which isn't ideal, but make sure it's on there securely, and it gives it a little extra bounce, things like that. So bear with me as we get started, and little by little, we'll work our way through the equipment. If things are going well, we'll assemble more stuff, I'm sure. So yeah, this is almost all clear. Except this part you can still see. So I'm going to get a little more time, let it dry, a little more clear. Please be patient. You can see I put that glue all over this plate, and it's already almost all clear except here. So like I said, table tennis glue, like this Revolution 3 glue, or a few other glues, a lot of other glues. Here's this Loki glue we're going to test out. I've never tried it before. I bought it off AliExpress. For example, this bottle's 250 milliliters. I'm not sure how much this one cost me, but I know that 110 milliliter Revolution 3 costs about, let's say, 13 to 15. I bought this one 250 milliliters for $9 on AliExpress. It has a big brush in there. I'm curious about that. And it's got a different consistency. It's more like a gel. Anyway, this is the glue I usually use. I'm going to use it for my stuff, then I'll test that out. But if it works well, maybe I'll start using that. Major League Table Tennis is starting their second match of the day. I think you can watch this one for free on their service. I'm not sure. Try it out and let me know. Feel free to say hi. Let me know where you're watching from. Major League Table Tennis hat in the background. Don't know if you can see it anymore. Probably can't. Let me reach for it. Oh. So, Major League Table Tennis. They're a table tennis league in the U.S. of professional players. They're doing their second weekend of Season 3 now. It's Atlanta Blazers versus Carolina Gold Rush. A lot of good players. Koki Niwa played earlier today. They've started their own streaming service, so check it out, tabletennis.tv. We'll see how everything goes, but it's a lot of fun, exciting format. And yeah, that's Major League Table Tennis. They also run the Spindex League, which is their own rating system, and we're running tournaments in our club, Sunrise Table Tennis Club. A lot of interesting stuff going on in the game. Alright, so this is dry. It's mostly dry. Like I said, it's hard to see on that one, but it is pretty much dry. So get the Loki glue out of here. Actually, this is ready for a second coat. So we'll do this first, then we'll assemble that. It's quite a bit of glue. Didn't mean for that much. So you can see how like the weight of your racket is affected by how many layers of glue you do, right? It's obviously not an insignificant amount of weight. And then 09C itself is already a pretty heavy rubber. So I usually do just one layer, but like I said, today I'm doing two because the rubbers haven't been sticking as well. And I don't want to have to re-glue it because it's always uneven when you re-glue it. Some way or another. Revolution 3 glue has kind of a smell to it. They have an odorless version. I haven't tried it, but probably try it. If it doesn't smell like this, it's got to be better. Not that it's that bad, but why not? Like I said, you want it to be even, but you don't have to like go crazy unless you want to. So that's good. That'll dry evenly, and then I gotta do the blade now. There's still plenty of glue in that, but I'm not gonna mess with it quite yet. It's definitely easier if your glue bottle top works instead of having it poured out like this. But it's almost out. Enzo Angles is playing Yuya Oshima. Enzo Angles on the Carolina Gold Rush. They won the championship last year. And Yuya Oshima, I don't know who that is. So the other racket I had, I like sanded the edges because they're all beat up and this and that. But this one you saw, I just took off the rubbers and now I'm putting the other ones on. So whatever. Alright, that's good. I always like to make sure the edges have a good amount of glue at the bottom, and just that it's pretty much even in most places. Right, then you let it dry. What's up, SP Nihal? Hi, man. How's it going? So yeah, thanks everyone for watching, especially to those who said hi. Shout out to Nihal. Yeah, these gotta dry. All right, so when that dries clear, this dries clear, we're gonna put together. Now it's time to put this together. Like I said, I went with just one layer. I actually had originally intended to use this glue, but I forgot. So maybe we'll do one side this, one side that, or maybe not. Don't hold me to it. All right. Flextra. I know everyone's been waiting for the Flextra assembly video. They've been saying, where's the Flextra at? Where's the Flextra? Well, here you go. We got the butterfly Flextra coming at you. Hot off the press. Brand new rubber from Butterfly. I'm not sure when this came out, but it's cool. Just trying to make sure I get it. So you line up with the bottom. Like I said, you get the bottom pretty much set up. And you roll. Boom. We got one rubber on at least, right? Don't say I didn't do any assembly, just in case we don't get any more assembly done. I can't make any promises, but I've gotten one rubber on the one blade. I fulfilled my obligations to the viewers. You're probably thinking, oh, you still gotta cut it. Yeah. You're right. Anyway, like I said, you roll it in the beginning firmly, but you don't stretch it out, because then if you stretch it out too much, it's gonna want to pull back, and then it won't stick to your blade, and then you'll go into your bag the next day, and it will be off of there. So that's ready. Pretty good. There's like a weird texture on this Flextra. It's like an old car tire or something. I'm not sure exactly, but whatever. I don't like this indent that it has. Alright, if I press the rubber too much, it's gonna show. So like I say, it's always easier the first side, because then you can press the racket down like this. You can line the handle up with the edge to make it easier. Right, so when you're doing the first side, you just kind of stick your racket handle all the way up to the rack or the table, and then put it on. Yeah, this one's on there good. We'll cut it in a second. Where'd I put those scissors? Are they right here somewhere? Oh, they're over there. Wow, so I haven't been paying attention to the match, but Angles is trailing. That means this Oshima guy's good. Let me know, have you ever heard of Yuya Oshima? Presumably of Japan, on the Atlanta Blazers MLTT team. Yeah, thanks everyone for watching. Definitely check in every so often. Like I said, it takes time, so I could be here for days, practically. I don't want to take up too much of your time, but I appreciate your presence. So we got this on there. Like I said, lately I like to try and let the rubber set as much as possible before I start cutting it, because you figure you start cutting it, it starts pulling on the rubber, and your glue is still setting, right? So you put it on dry, that's why you wait for it to dry clear, and it grabs. But it still takes a little while longer for it to set properly. Having said that, we'll start cutting. Lately I've been working on the other technique, which is starting from here, if the sponge allows it, and then catching back up to the cut, because these scissors, this is a very soft sponge. Don't like it. Anyway, so I started there. If your scissors handles allow it, it's easier to start from here and then come around, but these scissors don't work so well like that, so I'm trying this lately, and it's working. So yeah, you can see it's a soft rubber too. So right, so you got a soft rubber, and you're cutting, but it pulls it along those edges. And like I said, with the weather lately being humid, I feel like the glue doesn't grab quite as well. You gotta be careful. Alright, so I can clean up the edges a little bit. You can see that's the basics of it, right? So you got this, good glue, good cut. Not like perfect. The best way to do the cut might be with a knife or something, but I like the scissors, it's easier. And I don't have to worry about cutting things with a knife. Tampa Bay table tennis. I use this racket. People can play with it. they don't have their own racket. It's good, like all-around racket. It's a little more aggressive than like a total beginner, of course, because it's carbon, but it's inner carbon, soft carbon, Malin, soft carbon, Yosaka. So that's one side. We'll do the other side. Just a bit. Here's the excess. I save it, but I don't know what I'm going to use it for. If I'm being honest. I got a collection of it. I don't know. Anyway, now I think I can use this one. So yeah, keep some weight on there. I like to use those paper soap because if you have like a sticky rubber and you stick on the table, you press down and stuff, you assemble it, then you pull it up, it's like stuck to the table. And that also hurts the bond between rubber and blade, which is a very important bond, a very special bond in every blade's life is its bond with its rubber. You can see this one's taking a while to dry because I put a lot of glue on there. This is already dry. It's ready. What can you do? Let's get this one. Let's see. So juice. I took some juice rubbers off an old blade of a friend's that I was assembling and put them on a different blade, but I've never had a new juice rubber. This is a very special time. Juice, Danny V All Plus. I gotta assume it's probably not a very expensive rubber. From what I've seen from this brand, I don't know much about them, but I think it's probably less than $30. Let's see. I'm curious. I know we sell it at Megasmith. You can always check the description for links. Oh, maybe we don't sell this one. Either way, I'll look at the brand. Huh. V All Plus, maybe? Alright, I should give up. Anyway, Danny V All Plus. I mean, the other. Okay, let's look at a different juice rubber, for example, for a price example. $36. So I think it's a $30 rubber, let's say. Same with Flextra. What's Flextra cost? Sorry for the break in the programming, folks. I'm curious. Flextra is an $18 rubber. Oh my gosh. Okay, good. Well, so just for the record, this is an $18 rubber from Butterfly. That's like crazy. I've never heard of a Butterfly rubber that cheap. So that's interesting option. Like I said, it's got like a weird grip to it. It's soft. It's sticky. It's cool though. It's got like an old school Butterfly look to it. It says Tamasu Tokyo on it. It's like the Tokyo Drift version. Anyway, Danny V All Plus. Let's see. Let's see what we're working with here. Presumably a $20 to $30 rubber. But it's very well packaged. I don't know how to get into it. Anyone used juice rubbers before? G-A-U-I-C. I never played. Well, I have tried them out, like I said, on that other blade. I haven't played with them extensively. I think it's like it's definitely like an all-around control rubber, cheap. Also a cream color sponge. Let's see, we'll keep that out for now. We'll hide the Hal. And our Flextra, because our Flextra's hanging out too. Anyway. It's got a film on it. Let's see what it feels like. So also soft rubber makes sense. These are both all-around control rubbers. It's got good grip, but it's not sticky like the Flextra. It's got a little dimple in the middle. So this is like definitely the definition of a grippy rubber, but not tacky, right? It's not sticky at all, but it has good friction on it. Good all-around rubber for kind of spinning the ball, decent amount. Do the same thing we did with the other one. Kind of the nature of table tennis assembly. It's the same thing over and over. Should put paper under it. So same idea. I'm gonna do 1 and 1. Let's better to use a little too much glue, I think, than not enough, because if it dries out while you're doing it, most glues are really a pain, so it's better just put too much. I mean, try not to, of course, but the worst part is like you run out 2/3 of the way through, and then you got to figure out, do I put more glue? Do I keep trying to spread it? And then it starts to dry up and get a little gunky. That's not good, because then you start creating other problems. The glue starts like not being even. It's drying out. It's not sticking. This and that. Same reason I always say, like, if you get it all the way on and it's like 80% perfect, 90% perfect, probably don't take it off to try to redo it, because you're gonna have to deal with more stuff to make it better than that, right? If you get an 80%, 90%, just live with it, or at least see how it looks for like a week, and then re-glue it if you have to. But let the glue dry so it doesn't behave weirdly. Anyway, another cream sponge for us to look at and wonder if it's dried or not. Look how much clearer that's gotten. Butterfly advertisement on TV. They got the Zyre 03 rubber out in October. Let me know if you're thinking about ordering the Zyre 03 rubber from Butterfly. It's like in between Dignics 05 and Dignics 09C. I'm curious about it, but I like Dignics 09C. I'm not trying to get used to a different rubber at the time, so we're sticking with what we know. Harimoto Tomokazu Interforce Super ALC. Dignics 09C. The combination for me. Let me know what you play with, if you got your own racket, if you assemble stuff, if you like ping pong, if you like table tennis. Shoot, even if you like pickleball, let me know. Little by little, we'll work our way through the stuff. Like I said, this is my prime objective. If everything else fails, I have to make my main racket good. And we're still here on the first rubber, so we haven't gotten too close, but there's 2 coats of glue on here. We'll include a coat of glue on the blade. Probably another 5 minutes, and I'll assemble that. And then we'll be halfway there. And then this will be glued pretty soon. This is already dry. I didn't put glue on here. Whoopsies. It'll dry quick though. So you always almost always glue the rubber first, because it takes longer to dry. The blade dries quicker. So here I forgot, which happens sometimes, I forgot to put the glue on the blade. That's all right, because I'm doing it now. I was too busy talking to everyone. Talking to myself, more like it, right? That's all right. As long as you don't judge me for it. Because I'm talking to you, but I have to imagine you're asking me things, not... What's up, Nikhil? How's it going? Thanks for saying hi. I appreciate it. How do you say hi on YouTube? I press like smiley faces and hearts and fire and 100%. 100. But how do you say hi? I don't know how that works. But, I mean, I know how to say hi, like, hi, right? But what are you clicking? What's the hi button? So I got a little glue on the handle, no big deal. This is drying. This will dry. That's almost dry. This is dry. The states of dryness. Appreciate everyone watching. Let's see. What can I show you while a few things dry? I can't do anything. I've been buying these Yinhe rubber cleaners off of AliExpress. I like it because it's all in one, right? You turn it over, you press it down, it gets the cleaner on the sponge, you wipe it on your blade. I don't think it makes it super... Well, it cleans it. It doesn't make it sticky. And you have to wait a little while before it gets like good grip again, because it's a little bit like moist. But it is a good product. Taku balls... They've been the staple for a long time in the US for tournaments, but honestly, Butterfly is catching up, so I've got them here, but for how much longer, right? I don't know, Nitaku, step your game up, right? Just saying. Flextra, that's on the other side of the rubber, it's already assembled. Danny V All Plus, that's this one. I don't know anything about it, but All Plus means it's all around rubber. Plus, it's on the plus side of things, it's on the positive side. Major League Table Tennis match going on right now. Let's see. Yuya Oshima has beat Angles the first 2 games. They're in game 3. Oshima. I couldn't think of a tagline for Oshima there quick enough, so we'll just say Oshima. Almost there. Bear with me. Could turn the fan on, but that'd make more noise. Oh, I got one more thing I can show you. I made this on another assembly stream, so you guys are watching. What's up? Yeah, thank you. What's up again? Sorry. I know it sounded like I was anticlimactic, but I didn't. Look at this one. I made this one on a previous stream. So this is a case from Loki. I got off AliExpress as well. Good deal. I've been trying to sell these a little bit to some people. Make good deal for them, good deal for me. This is the Loki K1 5-ply all-wood blade. What's that rubber? Raxton. I think I got the Raxton 5s. Yeah, the V. So Raxton 5 pink rubber. And Kieran 1 black rubber. I boosted both these rubbers with 1 layer of the Haifu Seaman National Yellow, and I sealed the blade, sealed the handle too. Feels good. I want to get some feedback first on what people think about the handles being sealed. I think it'll make it look nice for a long time, and for most people using it, won't be a big deal. You can see a little ripple there where I had to re-glue the edges, but that doesn't affect anything. But I've shown that strategy lately. If you mess up, just kind of re-glue the edges. It's no big deal. So yeah, cool pink rubber. If you have a different colored rubber on one side, you have to have black on the other side. Matches the case. Pretty flashy case. Some people say they like the gold zipper. Other people say they don't like the gold zipper. Let me know what you think. I think it's cool looking. So we got these 2 rubbers. 1 red, 1 black. We're going to put on this blade a little later, assuming I don't just give up on the assembly at some point. But for the moment, that's the idea. No promises, as always. Major League Table Tennis on. Check it out, tabletennis.tv. Danny VL Plus. We're getting this out of here because no one knows what that is. It doesn't have any brand recognition. We got the Hugo Hal blade. We need to stop hiding it. All right. Back to our regularly scheduled programming. Assembly. 8-8, Game 3, Yuya Oshima, Enzo Angles. There's a let. Is there anyone out there watching Table Tennis TV? Let me know. I'm curious. MLTT moved off of YouTube for the first time this weekend. I think it's really ambitious what they're doing, but I'm also a little worried that the move may have been premature. But they obviously know what they're doing, so I'm not going to worry about it. Just this bit. I need this part to dry, and then we're good to put the first part on my blade. So like I say, when you're doing the first rubber on a blade and there's nothing under, then you can just stick it all the way up to the table. That's easy. Right, and then I'll put it on. Once you do the other side, you can't stick it up exactly, so it's a little bit more pain. You see this one curled up a little bit. Sometimes sponges do that. You gotta deal with it. Let me know if you have any questions about, like, say, a racket for a beginner, or a really cheap racket that would work, or you have certain equipment and you're thinking about changing it, or things like that, or anything really. Someone's talking about helping them learn table tennis, so you can watch our streams. We'll train tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern time in our club. Also do it Sunday, and then a few times during the week. Getting back to it, training a little more regularly again. All right, so you can see the glue's all the way dry here. I wish this was ready, but it's almost there. Almost there. So this match, they're in singles 1. This is the first singles match. Most MLTT matches up till now have taken 2 hours at a time. So it starts at 7:30, it'll go at 9:30. I anticipate I'll stay here and stream until about that time, but no promises. That should be the tagline, right? I'm going to assemble these rackets, but no promises. No promises they turn out well. No promises that I do all this stuff anyway. Just absolutely no promises. Don't hold me to it. All right, maybe that's the name of it. I got this jewel of varnish, this lacquer for blade sealing. I'm going to do that on the Hugo Colorado after this is done. Once we get my blade situated and safely put away under some weight so it can be pressed for the night before I play tomorrow, then I'll mess with the other stuff. Let's see. You gotta be patient. There's no reason to rush it, like I say. It's just like a white streak here. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see it? Yeah, you can see it just a bit. Just a bit there. That's because it was like a thicker line, so it's gotta dry out. Yeah, not so interesting. Anything else, if I'm being honest. Let's see. Let's look at our checklist. New 09C on my blade. I have not gotten that on yet. Seal Hal blade surface. Nope. Test Loki glue on Loki blade. Nope. Rubbers onto Malin soft carbon. I've got one rubber on the Malin soft carbon. The other one is getting there, but I have to wait for this to dry since I had forgot about it. And there's still some drying to be done there. So we're like, well, half on this one, 0 for 3. So either 1/8, something like that, depending on how you weight it. So good progress is what I meant to say. Thanks. Thanks for being here with me. Here's the glue sponge. You can see it's all the way through here now. If this side remains like not saturated, unsaturated, then you could turn around and use it next time, or just wash it out after. These ones come with the Revolution 3 glue. They're more like makeup sponges. Not that I wear makeup, but. And then these ones come with the other glue. They come with the G-Will glue. And they're like other types of sponges. I don't know. I don't have that many descriptors. Here's the G-Will glue. This G-Will glue dries quickly. Hydrotech. Used to not like it. Now I kind of like it in terms of not disliking it, at least actively. All right, look, it's gone. It's done. It's ready. It's ready. Let's make some space. Because this is important. This is really important. This is do or die. The stakes are high. Get out of my way. All right, so this is Dignics 09C on my Harimoto blade. Let's hope I don't mess anything up. Pressure's on. Fingers crossed. Line up the butterfly wings with the middle of my handle. Like I said, you get it started, then you roll it down. Oh, very nice. Like I said, I like doing it on C because the sponge is harder, so it's actually a little easier to work with. Same with some of these harder Chinese sponges. They're more durable. Soft sponge, more brittle. So pretty good. Not like perfect. Could be better. But certainly acceptable. So here we are. Like I said, that's one of two most important ones for the day. Clean it off a little bit. I mean, you don't have to worry about cleaning off that much until you're done, but pretty good. Happy with it. Give it a second. This one still a little more, then it'll be ready. I'll cut this in a moment, but I want to let it dry. So that's drying. We'll start the other 09C because, like I said, I'm doing 2 layers of glue on each one. So it's going to take some time anyway. You have time. And like I said, I like to wait more. Wait as long. If I wasn't doing a video, I would wait even longer just to let it set. Because I don't like that feeling of cutting it and pulling it while it's just been glued. Take the film off. So this film has like, well, it feels almost sticky. It is sticky on this side, right? So it's sticky. This side is just not sticky. And that's a good protector for your rubbers. So I definitely recommend saving it when possible. And then, right, you have one for each side. and you can put it on as a protector almost. Do your best to save it, then figure it out. So I hope everyone's at least moderately enjoying what they're seeing. I can't like expect you to be over enthusiastic about the assembly of a racket, but it's a good amount of glue. It's a healthy amount of glue. Anyway, that one's got to dry, and then I'll put another one, so I got to wait for this. That's like 20 minutes. Then we'll put the other one second, and this one at the same time. Boom. That'll be ready. This one's ready. It's like a cooking show, isn't it? Like, oh my gosh. The appetizer's done. Now it's the main course. Oh my gosh, dessert's ready. I baked this yesterday. What do we got here? What do we got? We got the juice rubber. We got the juice. We got the juice. This thing definitely belongs with the flextra on this racket. This is like a match made in heaven. Alright, so we get the bottom started. We start from the bottom and we roll it to here. So you start from the bottom. And then you end up here. Start from the bottom, now you're here. All right, like I said. Simple as that. All right, so when it comes to rolling, what do we say? You start from the bottom, now we're here. All right. I think it's a good rule of thumb. And then you can even flip it over. Like I said, there's that dimple was in the beginning. I'm not taking credit for that. I didn't put that dimple there. The juice man did. Don't fall. Alright, so this one's pretty much like that. We just gotta cut it. Leave it like that for a while. You can see, like, once I glue stuff, I usually flip it around, put it on the other side, just so there's like a little bit of pressure. And then later on, usually I would put like a piece of wood with some weight on it to make sure it stays down. I've contemplated buying a rubber press. I'm still on the fence about it. Let me know if you use a rubber press, if you think it's useful, worth it, not worth it. I'd be able to do one racket at a time with my wood and weight solution. I can do a few rackets at a time, but it's not perfect. So tell me what you think. I'm always open to your feedback. All right, so that one's ready to be cut, but we're letting it wait. This one needs one more layer of glue. Boom, boom. We can get started over there. Or we can get started. Oh, we can get started. I've been putting this moment off for some time, but we can get started with our Hugo Hal. I've been very nervous about doing anything to this blade. It's a collector's item. When Hugo won the World Cup, and even before that, the Hugo Hal original was sold out and discontinued and had been for some time. And then there was nowhere to get a blade. And then a couple months later, Xiom said, okay, fine. We'll make some more blades with the limited supply of the wood they had left. So they made this limited production run. You can still get it on Table Tennis 11, maybe Spin Factory. That's where I got it from. but they're in limited quantities. This is a new production run. This is the blade Hugo Calderano used to win the World Cup. The man, the myth, the legend, Hugo Calderano. This blade has not been sealed, so that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to seal this wood because it feels so nice, but it's a little bit porous, I can feel, and I want to seal it because I want to keep this nice so I can change rubbers a few times, try it out. The handle is very nice and solid. It's supposed to be 85.8 grams. They told me that from the factory, but let's weigh it anyway, just to verify. Not that I really care so much about all these weight things, but like I said, we've started to see the weight does matter for the blades. Huh. Well, there you go. It's even a little heavier. It's 86.54. I'm going to write that down somewhere because it's not quite what I was expecting. And yeah, the weight will change a little bit as I seal it too, because seal it, put some liquid on it, things like that. So yeah, here's the Hugo Hal. Like I said, it's an outer fiber blade, but it's not carbon, it's Exilium fiber, which I don't know what that means exactly. Future from another future, I definitely don't know what that means, but I like the way it sounds. It's moderately provocative. So, Hugo Hyper Exilium Hal. We're gonna seal it. We gotta wait for that to dry, we gotta do this, so we're gonna seal it. Don't waste any more time. The blade's got the Brazil theme, I think it's, or the box. The old box had a different color theme, so I think that's very cool, if anything. We got the Jula sealer. I bought this recently. I put on a few of these blades. I've sealed this one already. Sealed the blade. It's to protect the blade from the water-based glue, because the water-based glue has got moisture in it. Seeps in the blade if you don't seal it. So you seal this. Some people seal the handles. I sealed this handle. It's got a good feel to it. I want to see what it's like when you sweat a little bit, but I think that'll wear off. And then this handle, I'm actually going to try something differently. But for now, I'm going to seal the blade face. All right, so you got to shake this before you use it. All right, so shake the Jula varnish, or Eula. And what I'm going to try to do is, I'm going to try to do this in a way where it stays kind of level, so it doesn't run too much one way or the other. Obviously, don't like clutter your workstation too much, but here we are. So, all right. Yeah, it kind of bubbles in the beginning, and then it dries a little clearer. You can always wipe it around. So just now, just doing the blade part. Let's start with that half. The goal is just to remember which parts of the blade I've already done it. So I'm trying to keep some type of system as far as how I spread it out. Trying to do this half. Let me know if you've ever sealed a blade, if you got any tips. I'm new to this part, but I'm doing it. So here we are. I think the bubbles disappear as it, like the air evacuates or whatever, dissipates. Whatever it's called. Like I say, you do this to protect it from the water-based glue. You don't want to put like way too much on. I'm only gonna do one coat, but this will protect the wood over time from the moisture. I think that's enough for now. And like I said, I'm gonna do something different with the handle. Could put this on. Some people do. I'll put it around the edges at some point too. But for now, I just want to make sure this side is good. I'll spread it on a little more. All right, let's cut this so I can get it out of the way. Like I said, I'm still sticking with my lazy method of starting here. Because like I said, normally you go from here, but the way these handles are with this bump, it's kind of annoying, so. Every sponge cuts differently. These softer sponges can be kind of annoying because they cut in a weird way. And some sponges, when they're harder, then they're harder to cut, but at least they cut more predictably. These almost like tear sometimes. Like I said, go slow so you don't pull the rubber so much. You don't want to like pull off the adhesive. Be careful where you cut and let it fall in case you're gluing other stuff, like I am, so. It doesn't have to be perfect. You're gonna hit it on the table anyway. All right. Okay, I don't worry about so much. So here you go, excess again. Throw that somewhere. Keep it safe. I cut a little bit too far in on here, but I'll fix that a little bit. But I came in too much here, so oops. I'll live with it, don't care. So like I said, this will be the racket I use for training some beginners because they're gonna be slower. Both rubbers are control-based all-around rubbers, soft sponges, good grip, not tacky, but definitely grippy. This one has some stick to it, but actually I can see it. It had the sticking to it in the beginning, and now it's already gone. It's actually kind of dead. Not dead, but it's not so sticky anymore, so I can see. It's nothing special. I'll let that dry for a bit, and then maybe we'll bounce a few balls off it and weigh it. All right, that's the Flextra Juice combo. I'm not going to get a lot of views for that combo in particular, but it'll be all right. So this is still drying. I put plenty of glue on there. It's taking a while. Let's look at the blade. So you got the Hal drying. You could always seal it and sand it a little more. What I'm going to do is get a paper towel, which I have around here, and just wipe it just a bit so it's a little more even. Just wipe off the excess a little bit. All right. So there you go. That's that blade. So like I said, I'm gonna do the other side in a little bit. I just don't want it to be uneven. It's gonna be beautiful. I don't know. I'm not sure how toxic the lacquer is, so be careful with that. Let's see if I use this to wipe the edges. Does it do anything? Yeah, it does a little bit. Might as well. Just trying to be careful because say I do that a lot and then it starts degrading the paper towel on the blade. That'll be annoying. So we're gonna wait on that. Anyway, that worked. That's the side we did. Make sure you remember that. So I'll wait for that for now. Let that dry. Keep it level. That's the women's players in MLTT. Let's see, I hadn't heard of these two women players from these two teams before that I can remember. They aren't showing their names, so I don't know them at the moment. So yeah, thanks for watching. Feel free to say hi. Let me know if you want to see. I'll show you the boosting of the cheaper rubber sometime, but I don't think I'm going to do it tonight. Maybe I will. We'll see how we get along. For now, I'm taking the 09C wrapper from today. From the new one, I'm putting these other 09Cs in here to keep them safe. Oh, I shouldn't have stuck them together. So you gotta be careful with that type of stuff. I'm gonna peel this glue off a little later. Maybe I'll do it on a stream too, but it's kind of boring, and you gotta be careful because you might get a blister. I did that the other day, and it happened. But the glue came off, so I was happy about that, so I'm not gonna complain. Anyway, let this dry, be nice and even. Then I'll do the other side, then I'll do the edges, and then I'll figure out what I'm gonna do for the handle later. Really, you don't have to do anything for the handle. I never have in the past, but I kind of like the idea of sealing it to keep this one nice, because it's kind of like a collector's item for me. Let's see, can you see it? Hugo Hal, the H. I like the H. Hyper-Exilium. So I got my Hugo Hal, my Harimoto Super ALC. Man, this thing is not drying. I must have put a lot of glue on there. It happens. Alright, doubles time in MLTT. Go over to tabletennis.tv. I think you get a free 1 week trial, 1 month trial, I'm not sure. I see the Carolina Gold Rush mascots there. Alright. So we got this one ready. I don't usually put side tape on till like the day after because I like to let it air out and settle. I could clean this up a little bit with some of the edges you can see, but for the most part, here's one racket. Like I said, this will be the training racket, so when I play with beginners, helping my coach or just however it ends up happening, this will be good. It has good control, good grip. Those Rakza 7 were really worn out with the grip, so I was the ball was slipping, this and that. You need enough grip to control where the ball goes, but you can't have a hard, fast rubber with a beginner because otherwise you either add too much to the ball and they can't handle it, or you take too much off and you can't control it. So yeah, this one's done. Let's get that out of the way. Nothing interesting about that one. Oh, I was gonna weigh it, right? That was the one thing we were gonna do. Let's see. Let's see, it was like 180 or 182 before. Feels pretty similar. Wow, 161. How'd that happen? So these are really light rubbers because they're really soft sponges, thinner sponges, more porous sponges, less dense because they're soft. So that's pretty cool. This would be a good training racket. So mission accomplished there. I'll put side tape on later. Pat myself on the back when I get a chance. So yeah, we're like, I wouldn't say halfway through, but we're somewhere in the middle of it. So you can see the lacquer's already dried pretty much. I'm gonna let it dry even more. Then I'll flip it over to the other side. I don't want to put so much on that it changes the characteristics of the blade. That is a risk. Well, it's actually like a fact. It's gonna change it a little bit because it hardens the surface, but just a little bit shouldn't matter. And also, if it makes the blade work well for a longer time, it's worth it. Handle feels nice. It's a flared handle. I'm gonna put some old 09Cs on that soon enough, but not tonight because I'm sealing it. All right. Makes sense. Doubles, Major League Table Tennis first game. It's Yu and Pong. I'm not sure exactly who. Kayama Yu. Tom Pong versus Enzo Angles and Eugene Wang. I don't really know if you're watching. It'd be a lot cooler if you were. Get this out of the way. We'll see. I'm not sure I'm going to do this Kieran one. I don't have to do this Kieran one tonight. So if people are feeling it, if people aren't feeling it. This is getting there. Right, so now this is all dry. This needs to dry. Oh, I still haven't cut this, so we can do that pretty soon. Yeah, because I got to cut this before I put the glue on here. So let's cut this now. Let's see. Can I cut it without doing the cheat code? Just annoying to do it without starting the other way, I guess. So this sponge is a lot harder. The Dignics 9C sponge, of course, so it cuts differently. Requires more force, and it doesn't. It doesn't stretch the rubber out the same way. We're happy. We're happy, can't you tell? Could it be a little better? Maybe. But it's good enough. And now we got a new Dignics 9C for our forehand rubber. It's got good grip. The ball's been slipping lately. People thought they caught me slipping, but it was just the rubber. I'll get him. Anyway, so yeah, let that stay on there a bit longer. Now when this is dry, one coat of glue. Let them dry, put them together. Then we'll do the other stuff, whatever. Feel free to say hi if you're watching. Let me know where you're watching from. Let me know what racket you use, what rubbers you like. If you've ever assembled your own racket, if you bought it pre-assembled, if you're curious, if you're really not interested at all and you just ended up here because YouTube showed it to you and you're upset, let me know. I'm sorry if so. Been buying these training balls off of AliExpress, 100 balls. These ones are orange, if you couldn't tell. I think they're like $13. So that's a pretty good price. Say it costs you $13, $15 for 100 balls. The orange balls don't seem quite as durable as the white balls. These are Wason. Can you see the brand? Not sure if you can see it. Yeah, you can see it. 3-star balls, training balls from AliExpress. Pretty good. Not bad. Loki glue, like I said, I think it was $9, 250 milliliters. We're going to test that out. Unless I get bored of assembly. Well, really, in case you get bored of assembly. Because if you guys get bored and leave, then I'll probably stop. But if you're not bored, if you're not leaving, we'll keep assembling. Like I said, till whenever this MLTT match ends, because I'm watching it. Let me know if you're watching it, what you think. I think I'll put the other coat on the other side once. Really, there's no rush, right? I don't want to turn it over and then have that get messed up. So. Just here, rambling on. Rambling racket assembly. That's me. So yeah, feel free to stop by. Feel free to drop out, drop in, check back, check in. Do whatever you're doing. Let me know what you're doing on your Friday night, Friday day, Saturday morning. You know what I'm doing. I'm assembling rackets. We're almost there. The sad part is I have to do another layer of glue. It's not really sad, but it's just time consuming. But we're getting there. We'll start messing with that one maybe. How about that? All right. Let this one dry because like I said, I'm not trying to mess with this yet. So, keep the Hugo safe. Just wait. You just stay over there. All right. Kieran Wood, 5-ply wood blade in the offensive category, but I tend to say the cheaper Chinese stuff, you always gotta kind of, you shift them slightly to the left. So if this is offensive, it's probably off minus or all plus, but it's a good blade. I sealed it. I sealed the handle. Like I said, it's got a little bit of a stickiness to it, but it wouldn't be a problem. It actually would keep the blade in your hand. Oops. I hit the table thing. But we'll see. That remains to be seen. Now, I mean, it feels sticky there, but when you take it off, you don't feel the stickiness in your hand, so I don't think it's a problem. But I might not use that same sealer on more handles just because it's a little bit weird. So what are we doing? What are we doing here? This one we're using the Loki glue. So let's look. We got our 2 rubbers here. We're going to put the red and the black on this one just to test them out. Because like I said, I boosted the other ones on the other racket, so I want to see what these rubbers work. Unboosted. Let's call these $10 rubbers. Let's call this a $20 blade. Let's call it a $15, $20 blade. Because I got good deals on them, but it doesn't mean that you can't say it's not worth this or that just because you got a good deal on it. So, you and Fung won the first game in doubles. Angles and Wong leading in the second game 5-3. Loki. Same rubber I had on the black side of that one. Has the protective film on it. Here it is, Loki Kieran 1, ITTF code. $10 rubber, medium hard sponge, I'd say. Has grip, not tack. Once again, I will save this. So it's got a hard sponge. Technically, I should be boosting them for like the best performance, so I boost the other ones before I sold them to people. But this one I want to test out unboosted just to see, because sure, if it works well without boosting, that'd be easier. I don't have to sit here and smell the booster. Don't have to buy the booster. That'll be a plus. All right, let's see what we're working with here. So we got a Loki glue here. Never tried it before. Not sure what to think about it. But it was a good deal. You can hear the sound of it opening. Let's see what... Not sure about this design. Definitely has a smell to it. Trying to get it off this thing. Whew. It's potent. I'm trying to rip this thing off, but it's not working. Whatever. Got that off. We've confirmed that it smells quite a bit. Got this big brush. Stinky brush. Let's see. Alright, it goes on clear, so I'm not going to know when it's dry. That's not ideal, but we'll make do. If anyone can read Chinese, you can tell me how long it takes to dry. There's a chance it has some speed boosting property, to be honest. I read the description. I'm not sure. That's part of why I was like, okay, maybe I'll try it. But I'm not sure this one did. One of them did. Try to get it evenly applied out here. I think I need a little more. What we'll do one layer on the rubber, one layer on the blade. Stinks. Oh my gosh. Hurts my nose. Dries quickly. I'm gonna put a little more. That dried really quickly. But the fact it's clear makes it not gunk up easily. That's kind of nice. Alright, let's make sure we got it on there good. Testing it out with this cheap rubber, cheap glue. Wow, I need to turn the fan on here. Oh! It stinks. Oh my gosh. I need to cover my face. Actually, I've been doing that lately with the... Oh my gosh. Alright, so there's quite a smell to that. Oof. Give me a second. I need something to cover my face with. Alright, well, that smell is not ideal, I'll be honest. It's got, I said the Revolution 3 has a smell. This one's much worse. I'm not sure what I'm going to do here. I want to put glue on the blade. I'll stick my face in here. Alright, anyway. Whatever, it's an experiment. Right? Sometimes experiments smell bad. Just be careful. Alright, on the blade, it spread well. Like I said, I sealed this blade too, so of course, it's not as porous. It doesn't absorb the glue quite like it would normally if you hadn't sealed it. It's good. Got a little glue on the table on accident. Whoops. Let's close that up immediately. Alright, so that's bad. Like out of... Whew. I'm not sure how to rate it, but it's not good. So yeah, thanks for watching. Luckily you can't smell that glue. If I pass out, you know why. It's because the smell of this glue is really bad. It happened. Sometimes you get like a Chinese rubber, it stinks really bad because of the treatment to the sponge. In this case, it's the glue. Sorry. It's like, oh, I can taste it. Okay, I'm gonna stand back for a second, let it dry. This is ready, so it's ready. I see that little hair there. I gotta pull it out. Give me a second. Am I gonna worry about that? No, I'm not gonna worry about that. We're gonna do this because that's what matters. Like we said, what matters? My racket. All right. Ready? Some of this stuff doesn't really matter. Because, for example, okay, you line all that stuff up, but really you just have to line up the bottom of your rubber with the top of the handle. And then you're good to go. No. Oh, that's not good. Oh, it didn't stick at least. Let's see. That could be a good sign or it could be a bad sign. Shoot. Sometimes it happens, like I said, with the weather lately, it's been like crazy. Stuff won't stick the same way. Yeah, it's like slipping. Huh. That's crazy. I'm not gonna mess with it. I'm gonna reglue it one more time. Oh yeah. Well, that's happened before in a stream. I'm gonna try not to be embarrassed, but I forgot to put extra glue on, so. Luckily, like I said, the Revolution 3 glue is my friend. It does not cause problems. So thank you, friend, for not causing me problems. Forgot I was supposed to do a second layer and a layer on the blade. That's why it didn't stick. So don't forget your second layer if you're doing 2 layers, and don't especially forget your layer on the blade. Got sidetracked. I'm blaming the smell of the other glue. Don't know if you'll allow me to blame it, but like I said, I'm using 2 layers of glue on this one because lately things are not sticking the same because of the humidity here in Florida at this time of year. So that's my story. I'm sticking to it. And now it's just time to glue it. All right, we're all right. That's kind of the beauty of live assembly. You have problems, you gotta fix them. We fixed it. But it would have been nice to be fully assembled back there. That's on me. Got ahead of myself. Probably got a couple more rackets left of glue there, but not a lot. It's all the Revolution 3 glue. It's like I got all this glue in my hands. Okay, like I said, I just gotta not mess up my rackets. That was almost a mess up. Definitely almost a mess up. But not a full mess up. You know, have you ever messed up your racket assembly and then had to figure out what to do? It happens. It happens to me sometimes. It happens to me on the streams. People see me have to improvise. It happens. What's up, Leonardo? How's it going? Thanks for saying hi. I appreciate it. Thanks for being here. So, now we've got our 2 layers of glue on here, our 1 layer of glue on here. We should be good once that dries. This, I'm not sure what to expect here with this, but we're going to try to put it together because I'm curious. If 1 layer of glue is enough on each side, I put a good amount of glue. We're going to test it out because also I don't want to smell this glue anymore. So if I can kind of assemble it, maybe I'll smell it less. It's not nice. I don't like it. And I got the sealer. There's too many smells in here right now. Not good smells. Also a little cluttered. You see the Loki? Yeah. So we got our Loki Kieran rubber going on the K1 blade. Most rubbers have some way to tell when you're in the middle of the rubber, like this one. Alright. So I got a little gap there, not completely flush, but I can live with it. So here are, this is the first racket assembled with the Loki glue. Really terribly smelling glue. Looks good. We'll see if it sticks, but I'm really hesitant to even use that glue again on this. I have 2 bottles of this. Congratulations to me for thinking I found a deal. I guess I'll have to get like a mask. Because it smells. If I didn't already say that, I'm not sure. Have I told you it smells? You can't smell it. You're very fortunate. So yeah, okay, we'll let that one settle, then we'll cut it. We'll do this other one. We got one more. We're almost there, people. We're almost there. Don't worry. Got a red one here. So same rubber. Like I said, let's call these $10 rubbers, $20 blade, $40 setup. Call the case. I mean, really, I sell it for 15 or 20, but call it a $10 case for what you can get it for. So. $50 you get a racket and a case. Pretty nice, I think. I think it's a good deal. And like I said, especially this one's a test racket because I want to see what they were like unboosted. The other ones I sealed and boosted, and that's a good deal. It takes time to seal, it takes time to boost. I'm dreading using that glue again. I'm gonna start gluing stuff outside, maybe, with that glue. It's really bad. Anyway, okay, you can see this is drying here, still there, still there. Once that dries, we put together, we do a good job, we're happy. We'll do this. Oh, gross. All right. No, we can't do that yet. Let's try to cut this. I'm curious to see how quickly that glue dried. We'll see how it works. So I'm gonna actually do my lazy cut, like I said. Actually, I'm gonna try a different lazy cut. So this got nice firm sponge. That's why I like some of these cheap Chinese rubbers. Assuming that glue holds it well. I'll bear with the smell. Won't bother you much. Well, it is bothering me, but I'm not gonna. If it works, it works. Didn't really think it through. Didn't really think it through. Problem is the scissors don't cut the right way. Whoops. Definitely didn't want that to happen. Definitely didn't want the piece of my cheap rubber going on my nice rubber. That looks good. Looks good enough. Like I said, I can always fix the edges, but as long as the glue worked, which I mean, I actually assume that glue works quite well. I don't think they would sell it if it doesn't really stick together. All the other stuff they might not worry about, but they'll make sure that glue makes your rubber stick to the blade, no matter how bad it smells. All right, let's just get it over with. Cover my face. Take a deep breath. That was kind of messy. I hope it doesn't stick to other stuff. It dries really quick. Seems to glue well. It definitely dries quick. Wow. Interesting. Terrible. I was trying to get that little piece of rubber off, but I'm not going to worry about it. So this one unboosted, I'll glue it, I'll tape it, I'll use it, and then maybe I'll sell it for cheaper or something. Make a good deal. Whew. Can you smell that glue from there? I can smell it. So this has to dry, that has to dry, and then it'll be ready. So you can see it's almost all clear, but there and there, this is ready. This, you can't even see it, it's clear, but it dries quickly, so you know it's not a big deal. Let's see. Yeah, this is dry. I'll do the other side soon. I'll do the other side of this once this is on. Because I'll make sure this gets taken care of. Ugh. Yeah, this is why, like I said, I don't like boosting and stuff because there's all these different smells. This really stinks. I'm gonna open a door. So yeah, thanks everyone for watching. Let me know if you have any questions about table tennis equipment. My voice is kind of muffled because I'm covering my face because the glue really stinks. The green bottle of Loki glue. Got it for cheap on AliExpress. Seems to work all right. I mean, I'm basing that off of just putting one rubber on it, but it glued it on. Ooh, but it smells very chemical. Very strong chemical smell. We're gonna put my rubber on soon. Oh my gosh, did I get something else on this thing? Oh, it's the same thing. I'm not gonna worry about it. What am I looking at there? I could try to pull that off, but I'm not gonna worry about it. So yeah, that's about ready. just about. Give it 2 minutes. It's basically all clear, but I can see just a little milkiness there. I want it to be a little clearer. I could have done a little better in some aspects, not letting debris get in there, but it's pretty close. Pretty cool. Get this here. Pretty sure this is already dry somehow. I'm gonna put this one on just to get out of the way. Get out of my way, please. Whatever. I'm not sure if that was enough time for it to dry, not enough time, whatever. Sooner I cover it up, the sooner I don't have to smell it quite as much, and that's a win. So I'll let that one sit far away from me. Alright, we're ready for the main event. My dear child. Let's see, something got in there. It's annoying me a little bit, but I'm not gonna worry about it. Not worth it. Pretty good. Could have been slightly better. I let it get a little bit too far down before I rolled it, but really no results or no negative results of letting that happen, so got lucky. I can't keep getting away with this. So that's my Dignics 09C, both sides of my Harimoto Super ALC racket. That's my main racket. The only one I play with really these days. It's easier if you stick with the same racket. Alright, I can take the shirt off my face and breathe a little bit again. This one's not so bad. So yeah, this one's good. Did a good job, we're happy. Right, you got this side, smooth. This side, smooth. I'll let it sit for just a bit, then I'll cut it. With these, some people call them scissors. Let this one sit. Gotta cut that out as well. We gotta seal the other side of this Hugo. My Hugo. I keep forgetting which side I sealed. This side looks sealed. It's dry. So it's dry to the touch now. This side I sealed. This is supposedly the side, but this blade has an emblem on both sides. That's confusing. Someone should speak to the manufacturer. So yeah, this is the Hugo Hal blade. He won the World Cup with it. Got second in the World Championships with it. What was that recently? He went to the semifinals. This last one, the Hal smashed, and Wang Chuqin won. That's pretty cool. He's obviously doing well. This lacquer doesn't really smell, but I think you should still be careful about the fumes. Similar to the booster, I haven't really sat around to sit there and smell it, but I know it's not good to breathe it in too much. So I try to, like I said, I start with a zone of the blade. Make sure I'm doing it. Make sure I'm switching this around a little bit. Edges. I gotta refresh my MLTT stream. It seems to have frozen a little bit, but I think it's fine. I just gotta press play again. So let me know if you're watching tabletennis.tv. That's where MLTT is now showing their matches. They've moved over there. Interesting decision. They got big plans. They're building a table tennis network. All different types of content. We'll see how it goes. They're now my direct competition as I build my content network. So thought we were cool, MLTT. And we're all just simple YouTubers. All right, that's enough lacquer for this blade face. Just try to spread it around evenly. Just make sure I wipe this around evenly, and then I'm gonna make sure I get the edges. But I wanna make sure this is like pretty good. I'm just trying to make sure this comes out evenly because I put quite a bit on this side. Let's see, make sure I get the sides. I think this is enough for the sides if I just kind of blot it along here. And then I'll deal with the rest of the handle and stuff later. I've got different plans for the handle, but I'm not 100% sure, so I'm not going to unveil those plans quite yet. Unveil, maybe. Anyway, that's on. Looks good. Let that dry. Stand and dry for a bit. Well, the problem is if you let it stand and dry, it drips down, even though there's not really much to drip at the moment. But I want it to dry out a little better before I do that. So just wave it around a bit. All right, how about that? 4 viewers. You guys are loyal 4 viewers. I appreciate it. Thanks for being here. Hugo Hal, sealed and delivered. Still figure out what to do with the handle, but first we got the main part done, which is the blade face. Maybe I won't even mess with the handle if my other tests don't go the way I need them to. Anyway, let me let this air out just a bit, then I'll cut these, then we'll be done. I'm gonna check on this MLTT match. My computer turned off. The stream seems to be funky at the moment. Or maybe it's just my computer. Alright, so it's Jeet Chandra versus Mohamed Shoman. Shoman won the first game 11-5. He's up 3-1 in the second game. Shoman is in the Atlanta area now, coaching people at Atlanta International Table Tennis Academy, AITTA. He's been in some epic battles with Alexander Kazaku in the Georgia tournament, so check those out on Emmanuel Tuglo's YouTube. Look for it. He's a good player, good matches, good videos. But yeah, Shoman, he's got a crazy backhand right off the bounce. Just kind of keeps imposing it on you very fast. Sometimes flat, sometimes very close angle over the top, but very aggressive. Lets out like an exhale, bark almost on all the shots, and it's good. So yeah, this side's dry, this side's drying. Drying. I just want to dry a little more before I set it down, because I don't want it to get stuck. I got the edges sealed, but not like crazy amount, but I'm not gonna do too much there for now. And then I'll mess with it. And you could always like sand it again too after sealing, or do whatever you want. Really. All right, let's put this here. I think it's all right. No. Yeah, it's all right. That's dry. That side's dry. Okay. What first? This one first. So yeah, singles 3. 1064 in the second for Showman. We're gonna do the lazy cut as usual. These scissors are growing on me, to be honest. They're like, since they're short, they get a little bit more jagged. They're not quite as smooth as like a longer scissor cut, but they cut well. So here's our racket, looking good. Black side, red side, tournament official. Loki K1 5-play all wood blade with the Kieran 1 rubbers, medium hard sponges, good grip. A little bit of glue on this, on the rubber here, but it'll wipe off eventually. I think, right? I don't know. I hope so. Not a big deal. It's down there anyway. So yeah, keep this one fresh, keep it pressed. Feels good. I'm gonna see the total weight real quick so we can compare it to everything else just for fun. Total weight. Hello. $172.23. So actually 20 grams lighter than my main, well, my 15 grams lighter than my main setup, 20 grams lighter than the other main setup. So nice and light, feels good in the hand. These ones, since they're not boosted, they'll be a little more dead, but still, this is a good beginner setup. This is good, perfect. I'm gonna have to glue that a little better. It'll stick, I'm not worried about it. So we're gonna keep that down. Whoops. Whoopsies. There's that one. Now we gotta cut this one. So you get lots of rubber cuttings. You just kind of set them aside, toss them somewhere, save them for a rainy day. Oops, sorry. I'm not sure if I was apologizing to you or the camera or the cord, but I am sorry. All right, same idea. We're gonna do the lazy cut to start it. Boom. Good. So you can see that little dimples from where my blade's cut up there. Same with there, the blade's a little beat up. But overall, looking good. So I'm happy with this. Like I said, that was our priority. Make sure this one turned out nicely, and it did. Let's weigh it real quick for fun. Any guesses? Any guesses? It was like 187 with the old rubbers. Feels a little heavy. Let's say 188. 180, no, 100. Yeah, 178, 187.8. Oh my gosh, that was pretty good. Okay, well, the fan's blowing. I was 0.6 off. I mean, not great, not terrible, but that's still pretty good. So, 187.2. That's good. I'm okay with that. So we're wrapping up the show tonight. Let me know if you have any questions in particular before we go and do our own things. Before we split for the evening. Like I said, I'll probably put some weight on the rackets for the night. with that piece of wood with some stuff. Here's the other one, the Marlin soft carbon with the Flextra. This rubber, it's not even sticky anymore. I'm curious. It was like so sticky before, now it's not. And the Danny V. Like I said, this will be the racket for training beginners with. I'll put some side tape on it just like the other ones, but for now I'll do that. We got our Karen K1 blade, red black Karen 1 rubbers with the Loki glue. Stunk, terrible stunk. Don't use that Loki glue, I don't think. Dignics on 9C, both sides of my Harimoto blade, looking good with my Revolution 3 glue. And then we have our Hugo Hal blade. Now the blade face has been sealed. We'll figure out what to do with the handle, not sure yet, but it's more prepared to deal with the elements as it sits in its case, unused, untouched. Collector's item, World Cup winner, Hugo Hal. All right, so we're gonna let that one dry a little more. Edges are done, we'll figure that stuff out. Major League Table Tennis, there's one more singles match than the Golden Game, so if you're not watching, I recommend going to tabletennis.tv, getting the free 1 week subscription. I'm not sure what it is exactly, but you could probably watch the match for free for like a week, this week at least, so you get the whole weekend of matches. I recommend it. What's up, Eric? How's it going? Shout out Eric, legend from the area, Sunrise Table Tennis Club member, fed me an awesome homemade public sub in a time of need at a tournament. So shout out Eric. Hope you enjoyed some of the assembly stuff. If you got to see it, let me know if you got any questions. Are you still using the, well, what are you using? The Harimoto, the Barracuda, the Nitaku? What do you got going on? Don't use this Loki glue, I would say, even though it's cheap. Maybe if you wear a mask and you work outside, maybe that's what I'll do in the future. I'm not sure. But it was really terrible. Smell really bad. So yeah, that's about it. We're wrapping up the stream. New scissors, yes. Got these recently. I've done a few assemblies with them, but they're pretty new. They're small. They make it a little bit hard to get started around the blade because of this like knuckle on it. But what I've been doing is I start here, and then I just go that way, and then they work pretty well. Since they're short, the cuts are a little jagged, but they cut well. They don't pull it, and I'm not so worried about little imperfections. I'll fix those and tape them. So yeah, we got new rubbers on the one main blade. This will last me through the year. October, November, December. The 09C 2.1. This one I'm just testing out the cheap stuff so I can sell it. Or so I can know what I'm selling because they're good stuff and I boost them and everything like that. This is for training beginners. And this one is just for fun because I like Hugo Hal so much. So I got this blade as a collector's item. I'll take care of it. So yeah. Thanks everyone for watching. I think we're pretty much done with the stream. Mohammed Showman, he's up 2-1 in singles 3. He's up 9-4 in this game 3. So now he's got game point and match point to go 3-0 with the sweep versus Jeet Chandra. Close team match. Definitely recommend checking out MLTT, tabletennis.tv. Check out our streams this weekend as we practice in Sunrise Table Tennis Club with my coach. I got my new racket. We're going to test it out. Gonna have some fun. So yeah, thanks everyone for watching. Shout out Eric. Shout out Leonardo, Nikhil, Anui, Nihal, Missing Comp, Abdullah. Shout out Couch Kitty, the very first person to talk to me. I'll teach you how to play. See you all around, all right? So thanks everyone. Have a good night.